Have you ever found yourself, really desperately waiting for help, maybe for some big declaration of change?
Yeah,
And it arrives, but maybe, I don't know, in a really unexpected way. Or maybe after a delay that just seems perplexing.
right. A delay that doesn't quite add up at first glance.
Exactly. And then, when that moment finally hits, the outcome is just so huge, so profound, it basically reshapes everything you thought you knew.
That's a perfect way to frame what we're talking about today, actually.
It really is.
Because we're stepping into a narrative that is just brimming with that kind of thing. Profound declarations, truly astonishing events, and, well, often challenging, unexpected outcomes.
Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're immersing ourselves in a truly powerful narrative. It was drawn from the passage in John,
That's right.
specifically focusing on this remarkable story of Lazarus, his sisters Mary and Martha, and just a pivotal moment in ancient history that honestly still reverberates today.
It really does. And our mission, as always, is to unpack this rich narrative. We want to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights, and explore all those different layers of meaning and implication found within these ancient writings. It's really about getting beyond just retelling the story
Yeah, deeper than that.
to understanding its deeper resonance.
And we're doing this by looking closely at detailed excerpts. We've got this document, LazarusRises.pdf, which is providing the core text for our exploration today.
That's our main source material.
So prepare yourselves. This is a journey into a story filled with, well, profound grief, incredible faith, and astonishing events that kicked off some truly significant and frankly pretty deadly consequences.
Absolutely. It sets a lot in motion.
Okay, let's unpack this premise then.
Yeah.
The story kicks off in Bethany, this village,
Right.
with a man named Lazarus. He's gravely ill. And he's the brother of Mary and Martha.
Two very devoted sisters.
Now, this Mary is quite significant, isn't she? She's the one known for anointing the Lord and wiping his feet with her hair.
Yeah, that detail isn't just thrown in there casually.
Right.
It really highlights her profound devotion, her intimacy with Jesus.
Makes her grief later even more poignant. You feel it more because of that connection.
Exactly. So the sisters, Mary and Martha, they send this message to Jesus. It's simple, direct. Lord, the one you love is sick.
So that, a simple plea, but it's just brimming with urgent expectation, isn't it?
Totally. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is Jesus' immediate response when he gets the news.
What does he say?
He declares, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory so that God's Son may be glorified through it."
Okay, so that sounds like reassurance, but then,
Right. Despite this assurance, and the text even explicitly says, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus.
you love them. Explicitly stated.
He then does something quite baffling. He stays where he is for 2 more days.
2 whole days. Knowing his friend, someone he loves, is sick.
2 days. Before deciding to return to Judea. This initial declaration and then the delay, they aren't just plot twists.
No. What are they then?
They seem to reveal something fundamental, maybe about divine purpose operating on a timeline, a logic that's, well, beyond our immediate grasp.
Using setbacks maybe as catalysts for something bigger.
Exactly. For greater revelation, for belief. It's quite complex.
And his disciples, they're definitely not thrilled about going back to Judea.
Not at all. They're scared.
They remind him quite reasonably, too, a short while ago the Jews there tried to stone you.
I mean, it's a valid concern, right?
Absolutely. But Jesus gives this enigmatic wisdom about 12 hours of daylight, walking without stumbling in the day versus stumbling at night.
Yeah, that analogy.
What do you make of that in such a tense moment? Is he trying to reassure them, or is it hinting at something more profound?
It's an interesting blend, isn't it? On one level, sure, he's addressing their immediate fear, maybe suggesting that if they walk in his light, they won't stumble into danger.
Okay. A safety message.
But maybe on a deeper level, this exchange really shows the disciples struggling to grasp his perspective.
They're just not on the same page yet.
Not quite. And then he tells them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him up.
Fallen asleep. And of course, they take it literally.
Completely literally. Their logical human understanding kicks in immediately. Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better.
Makes perfect sense from their point of view.
Right. But then Jesus shifts from this sort of cryptic language to just blunt declaration.
What does he say then?
He states plainly, Lazarus is dead.
Wow. Just like that.
And for your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe. but let us go to him.
Okay, that is striking. That phrase, "For your sake I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe." What's the impact of that directness? Cutting through their assumptions, even saying he's glad.
It almost sounds calculated, doesn't it?
Yeah, but why? Beyond just belief. What specific belief?
Well, that phrase, I think it's a critical hinge in the whole narrative. It really signals the delay wasn't an accident, wasn't an oversight.
It was intentional.
It seems like part of a divine teaching strategy, almost, a pedagogical moment.
Teaching what, though?
That the disciples, maybe, future generations listening to the story, needed to witness something beyond just healing. They needed resurrection.
From an undeniably dead state.
Exactly. This wasn't about saving Lazarus from death, but about revealing Jesus' power over death itself, solidifying faith through something absolutely unparalleled.
Right, a foundational belief in something much, much bigger. And then we get Thomas,
Well,
also called Didymus.
the twin.
His response just perfectly sums up the mood, doesn't it? That sort of somber yet loyal resolve of the disciples.
What does he say again?
He says, "Let us also go that we may die with him."
Wow, that speaks volumes.
It really does. It shows their fear about returning to Judea, but also their absolute devotion to Jesus, even if they think it means, well, dying alongside him.
Loyalty trumping fear, even in the face of death. It's powerful.
So after this very deliberate, very significant delay, Jesus finally gets to Bethany.
Right, he arrives.
And the grim reality hits them immediately. Lazarus has already been in the tomb for 4 days.
4 days. And the text points out Bethany was close to Jerusalem, less than 2 miles.
So lots of people around.
Yeah, many Jews had come out from the city to comfort Martha and Mary in their loss. It was a public grieving.
And that 4-day detail, you mentioned it earlier, it's really important, isn't it? Especially for that audience.
Hugely important. In first century Jewish tradition, there was this common belief, maybe not universal, but common,
Yeah.
that the soul might linger near the body for up to 3 days after death, kind of hoping to return.
3 days was the window, sort of.
Sort of, but after 3 days, it was generally considered irreversible. The decomposition was too advanced, the spirit had truly departed.
So Lazarus being in the tomb for 4 days.
It wasn't just a long time, it pushed the situation way beyond any human possibility of revival.
Making the miracle, if it happens, unequivocally divine. Undeniable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It removes any doubt that this was just, a resuscitation or coming out of a coma.
Wow. Okay. That adds so much weight to the timing. So Martha hears Jesus is coming.
And she, being Martha, the proactive one,
Always practical, yeah.
she goes out to meet him. Mary stays at home initially.
And Martha's lament is just so raw, so direct. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died."
You can just hear the heartbreak in that, the what if.
But then, almost in the same breath, she follows it with this incredible declaration of faith.
What does she add?
She says, "But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask."
Wow. That's quite a statement after expressing such disappointment.
It's this fascinating mix, isn't it? Grace and conviction, side by side. Do you think this is like a sudden, complete shift in her thinking, or is there still a tension there between the emotion and the faith?
That's a great question. I don't think it's necessarily a complete shift. Her first statement, "if you had been here," that's pure human grief, right? Laying bare her immediate emotional truth.
Totally relatable.
But the follow-up, "even now God will give you whatever you ask," that reveals this deep underlying belief she already holds about Jesus' power, his connection to God.
So it's not one replacing the other.
I see it more as a profound tension. It illustrates that very human struggle of holding on to hope, holding on to belief, even when you're drowning in sorrow. She's expressing both her pain and her enduring faith, even if she doesn't fully grasp what's about to happen.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels very real. And Jesus then offers his assurance, "Your brother will rise again."
Simple and direct.
But Martha hears this, and she's still thinking in traditional terms, right? About the future.
Exactly. She replies, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." She's thinking about the end times, the big collective theological event.
Standard eschatology for the time.
Precisely. But here's where Jesus just completely pivots. He makes this monumental, radical declaration about his own identity.
This is the big one.
It really is. It reshapes her whole understanding of resurrection. He says, "I am the resurrection and the life.
I am, present tense.
The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die." Do you believe this?
Wow. So it's not just about a future event anymore.
No, it's about his very presence, right here, right now, as the source, the embodiment of eternal life itself.
He's redefining resurrection entirely, from a distant event to an immediate reality found in him.
Exactly. It's a massive claim. And then he asks her directly, do you believe this?
And Martha's response, or affirmation.
It's immediate. It's clear. Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who is to come into the world.
That's huge, an incredibly significant moment of recognition for her. A personal, profound shift.
Absolutely. Then, after this, Martha goes and calls Mary, tells her secretly the teacher is here and asking for her.
And Mary gets up quickly and goes to him. The comforting Jews who are with her in the house, they see her rush out.
And they assume she's going to the tomb to weep there, so they follow her.
More witnesses gathering.
Yes. When Mary reaches Jesus, she falls at his feet and mirrors Martha's earlier lament.
The same words.
Almost exactly. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. The same raw grief.
And Jesus sees her weeping and sees the Jews who came with her also weeping. The text says he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled.
Yeah, that phrase indicates a powerful emotional reaction. Not just sadness, but something deeper, perhaps indignation at death itself, or profound empathy.
And then we get that incredibly famous, incredibly short verse.
The shortest in the English Bible, right?
Jesus wept. Just 2 words. What does that tell us? About divine empathy. Why is that detail so impactful? It feels like more than just showing emotion.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just a display of empathy, though it is that too. It's a profound insight into a compassionate, divine identity.
Oh.
It shows that even supreme power, the power he's about to display, doesn't insulate him from genuine human grief. It challenges any idea of a distant, detached deity.
Right. It emphasizes a shared human experience.
Even in the face of the miraculous power he holds. For the people watching, it revealed a Jesus who wasn't aloof, but was deeply connected to their sorrow.
And for us reading it now.
It underscores that divine love encompasses our human pain, even when the power to change the circumstances exists. It's incredibly powerful.
That's such a compelling point. It's a moment that clearly divides the onlookers, too.
Right, the reactions split.
Some Jews observe his tears and say, see how he loved him. They recognize the grief, the connection.
They focus on the love, the relationship.
But then there's the skeptical side. Others are questioning, murmuring, could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?
That immediate jump to questioning his power or his choices.
What does this instant division tell us about how we perceive the divine, especially when faced with something extraordinary, or maybe when faced with suffering?
I think this division is really insightful. It highlights how we tend to interpret events through our own pre-existing frameworks, our own expectations.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, those who say, see how he loved him, are connecting with the relational, the emotional aspect. His humanity resonates with them.
Okay.
But the skeptics, they're applying a kind of utilitarian logic. If he has power X, why didn't he use it to prevent outcome Y?
Like a cost-benefit analysis of miracles.
Kind of. It reveals how some people are open to wonder, open to the personal connection, while others immediately question, maybe clinging to their preconceived ideas of how divine power should operate.
It's belief versus skepticism playing out right there.
In real time, a microcosm of human response.
That's a powerful distinction. So moving towards the tomb itself, Jesus, the text says, once more deeply moved, arrives at the entrance. It's a cave with a stone laid across it.
Typical tomb style for the region and time.
And he gives the command, take away the stone.
Bold, simple, but loaded with implication.
And here, Martha jumps back in with her very human, very practical concerns.
Always practical, Martha. What does she say?
She interjects, but Lord, by this time there's a bad odor, for he's been there 4 days.
Ah, the 4-day reality check again. This isn't just a minor detail. It's her stark reminder of the physical reality, the irreversibility of death as she understands it.
It brings us right back to that crucial point.
Yeah.
This is well beyond any natural hope. She's grounding the moment in sensory detail, the smell of decay.
Underscoring the perceived finality. She's basically saying, are you sure it's really over?
But Jesus' reply is powerful. It cuts right through that practicality, that sensory objection.
What does he say to her?
Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?
Bringing it back to belief, to seeing beyond the physical.
Exactly. The stone is then removed. It's almost like he's reminding her and everyone else there that this whole event is a test of vision, isn't it? Seeing beyond the obvious, the decay.
That's a great way to put it, a test of vision. Then Jesus looks up and prays.
And he explicitly says why he's praying out loud.
Right. He states it's for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me.
So the prayer isn't for power, it's for context, for the audience's understanding.
Precisely. It's not a plea for God to act. It's a public declaration framing the miracle that's about to happen, making sure they know its purpose, to establish belief in his divine origin, his connection to the Father.
Okay, setting the stage clearly, and then the dramatic climax.
He calls out in a loud voice,
Lazarus, come out!
Just imagine hearing that, the authority in that command.
And incredibly, Lazarus emerges. He walks out of the tomb.
But not like, fully free and clean.
No, he's still bound with the grave clothes. His hands, his feet, his face were all wrapped in the burial linen.
It must have been a shocking, almost terrifying sight. Undeniable proof of return from death, but still wrapped in the very garments of the grave.
Absolutely undeniable. A man clearly dead, now walking, but still bound.
And the final instruction from Jesus is simple, but again, so symbolic.
What's the command?
Take off the grave clothes and let him go.
Let him go. It's not just practical, is it?
No, I don't think so. It's not just logistical, like unwrap him so he can move. It feels like a moment of full release.
Release from what?
From the literal and symbolic trappings of death. Lazarus isn't just revived, he's set free. It underscores the completeness of the restoration. It's like a new beginning, unburdened by the past, by death itself.
Wow. Okay, so what does this all mean for the people who saw it? The aftermath is immediate, and it's divided, right?
Instantly divided. The text says, many of the Jews who had come to visit Mary and had seen what Jesus did believed in him.
That's the powerful, direct impact. Seeing is believing, for many of them.
Belief sparked by an undeniable miracle.
But then there's the other side of the coin.
Always the other side. But some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done.
They went straight to the authorities. This action, it escalates things dramatically, doesn't it?
Oh, immediately. The chief priests and Pharisees, they convened the Sanhedrin.
Which was basically the supreme Jewish council, right? Religious and judicial power combined.
Exactly. This highlights just how serious the political and religious implications were, as they saw it.
And what was their core concern? What were they saying in that meeting?
Their worry was explicit. What are we accomplishing? If we let him go on like this, everyone will believe in him.
Okay, fear of his growing influence.
And then the Romans will come and take away both our temple and our nation.
The Roman occupation angle. That fear was very real, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The Sanhedrin operated under Roman oversight. Any large popular movement, especially one centered around a figure some might call Messiah or king, could be seen by Rome as a threat, an insurrection waiting to happen.
And the Roman response could be brutal.
Brutal. Suppression, loss of the limited autonomy they had, maybe even the destruction of the temple itself, the absolute heart of their national and religious identity. That was their nightmare scenario.
So it's a stark choice they feel they're facing. Their power, their status, maybe even their nation's survival as they know it, versus the truth of what Jesus is doing.
Toast exactly like that. And then Caiaphas, the high priest that year, steps in.
And he makes this incredibly blunt, almost chilling statement.
What does he say?
You know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish.
Wow. Cold political calculation laid bare.
But what's truly fascinating here is how the narrative itself interprets Caiaphas's words. It adds a layer of commentary.
What does the text say about his statement? It says he did not say this on his own, but as high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus would die for the Jewish nation.
He prophesied, even though he meant it politically.
And not only for that nation, but also for the scattered children of God, to bring them together and make them one.
So an unintended prophecy, that's a powerful theological statement woven in.
It really is. It's this profound insight into how, even within cynical, self-serving human actions and political maneuvers,
Like Caiaphas's plan.
a higher purpose, an unseen divine plan can be unfolding. It suggests a kind of divine sovereignty that works through and even despite human intentions.
Turning a malicious political strategy into an unwitting prophecy of something much bigger, spiritually significant.
Exactly. The irony is incredibly thick there.
So the consequence of this meeting, this prophecy, is clear.
What's the immediate result?
So from that day on, they plotted to take his life. The decision was made.
The die was cast.
And Jesus, knowing this, or sensing it, his response is strategic.
He doesn't confront them directly yet.
No, he no longer moves about publicly, at least not in Judea. He withdraws to a village called Ephraim, near the wilderness, with his disciples.
A tactical retreat in the face of this escalating danger, buying time, perhaps.
Seems like it. And then as the Jewish Passover approaches,
A major festival drawing huge crowds to Jerusalem.
many people are going up to the city for ceremonial cleansing beforehand, and they're looking for Jesus. They're asking each other, what do you think? Isn't he coming to the festival at all?
So there's this public anticipation, this buzz about whether he'll show up.
Yes, but it exists against this really chilling backdrop. There's an official order out from the chief priests and Pharisees
What's the order?
that anyone who found out where Jesus was should report it so they could arrest him.
So public curiosity mixed with official, lethal intent. The tension is just ratcheting up towards an inevitable confrontation in Jerusalem.
And there we have it, the whole incredible arc of this narrative.
It's quite a journey.
From that initial plea for help for a sick friend, through a perplexing delay that turns out to be purposeful,
Right, for a greater revelation.
to a monumental declaration of identity, I am the resurrection, then an absolutely astonishing resurrection itself.
Lazarus walking out of the tomb.
And finally, the immediate drastic political plotting that this miracle unleashes. It's this incredible sequence where a moment of supreme divine revelation simultaneously sparks a desperate, deadly human scheme.
It really shows how intertwined the divine and the human, the spiritual and the political can be. If we try to connect this to the bigger picture, this story isn't just about a miracle that happened once, long ago.
No, it feels more resonant than that.
It's about that intersection, isn't it? Human emotion, grief, fear, faith, doubt, divine power, incredible life-giving power, and the complex, often conflicting ways people react when those things collide.
Yeah, the reactions are key. Belief, skepticism, fear, political maneuvering.
The narrative really forces you, the listener, to consider how easily things like fear or clinging to tradition or just self-preservation can blind us.
Blind us to what?
To profound truth, even when it's standing right there weeping with us or calling the dead back to life.
That's a challenging thought. This deep dive, it really does unpack all those layers of human reaction when faced with something truly undeniable, something extraordinary.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. What stands out to you most about those different reactions? The belief of some, the reporting by others, the plotting by the council, Martha's journey from grief to faith.
How does hearing this story again, looking at it this closely, maybe challenge or deepen your own understanding? Your understanding of belief, of power, and maybe the sheer weight of truth when it confronts us, especially when it's something truly beyond the ordinary.